Sanibona, ngaphambi singene kwivideo namuhla, ngithi angithathe lethuba ngibonge isupport nothando enikhombise lona lingaphezu kokucabanga kwethu. Siyacela niqhubeke nisisupport njalo ngokubuka amavideo ethu, ungakhohlwa ukukhomenta, ushare, ulike. Siyafisa ukuzwa umbono wakho. Sicela ke singene kwivideo namuhla. Ngiyazi ukuthi siphila ezweni eline-freedom of speech ne-freedom of expression. Kodwa lokho kusho Nhlanhla ngo-CIC angazi noma kuseyi-freedom of speech noma kuseyi-freedom of expression. Kule video manje sizocaphuna into esho Nhlanhla ngo-CIC. Ngifisa ukuzwa ngesingawe ngoba akaqala okokuqala wathi ekhuluma wancoma umka Julius wamncoma wabona ukuthi kumncoma kwakhe sekwedlulela. Manje ukhuluma into eyishaqisayo. Ngiyafisa kodwa ukuthi ngimcaphune umuzwe wena. Ngoba ukhuluma ukuthi uJulius uphuma kwi-era lapho khona abantu ukuze bashayine ngokwezepolitiki noma babe nezwi bekufuneka balalwe khona. Amadoda alalwe ngamanye amadoda. Kodwa-ke uzozikhulumela yena ngoba ngeke ngiyikhulume loo nto leyo kahle mina. Ngizofaka ivideo yakhe azikhulumele. Ivideo yesibili into ebuzwe imember ye-EFF uManthe mangenzi iphutha, Honorable Manthe usisi lo. Ubuza umbuzo obaluleke kakhulu kabe ebuza i-NPA. Ayikho into ezwisa inhliziyo ebuhlungu njengokwazi ukuthi i-justice system yethu eSouth Africa inabantu ebafavorayo, inabantu ebazondayo. Justice system yethu iyakubuka ukuthi ukuyiphi position. Justice system yethu iyakubheka ukuthi unayo imali noma unayo na. Ngikusho lokhu ngoba uyazi ukuthi kunama case okuthiwa ama-Hawks awa-investigatile aqeda athatha i-case leyo ayisa kwi-NPA. Ngiyakhumbula nje ama-Hawks mayiqeda ngecase le okusolakala kuyo uMinister uKhumbuzo Chaveni. Asho ukuthi aqedile uku-investigator ayinikeza i-NPA. EFF yabhala i-statement ngalolo suku. Yathi angeke i-NPA izenze lutho. Futhi lokhu kuyingozi ngoba usisi lo sebenza kwi-office ye-president le-intelligence. Kodwa uyabona kuthulekile. So sizomuzwa ngesikhathi ebuza baphendule bathini. Ebekungani amanye ama-case ethatha isikhathi eside. Kodwa uma kuyi-case lomuntu abamzondayo, kusasa ngaba nensolo namuhla, kusasa ngabe seboshiwe. Kusasa hayi kudala, kusasa ngabe seboshiwe. Asingene-ke kusho Nhlanhla sizwe ukuthi uthini.
In politics, because pre-94 it wasn't the ANC, it was just politics. PAC, there was a political culture. But Julius come from a political culture where boys are slept with. They literally fuck these boys in the ass for them to find expression. Is he one of them? I'm not here to ridicule him, so I'm not even going to say is he one of them or not, okay? But I'm just trying to show you where the world that Bo Julius come from. Do you see?
Yeah.
The Bo Julius had it tough, guys. If there's some people that we need to actually appreciate, we can't really be too hurt and take it too serious when they speak ill or negative.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for a day where Julius takes the mic and is so super passionate about a young South African and he goes crazy and makes a young talent super trend and says, I can't believe it. It's not in the EFF. Forget about that just for today, guys. South Africa has this guy. When you start saying Siya Kolisi, he must find something wrong. And when you start saying, oh, there's this guy called Nhlanhla. His dad is a criminal. He's got AK-47s. So some of us don't take it that personal. So don't ever think that a Julius, because I deal with millions of Juliuses from Soweto, from my own community. When your man who is taken away from you by another man, that is beyond, dude. I'm not speaking about gayness. I'm just saying, like, it's what it is. It's a culture that lives in Soweto. And if anyone wants me to prove it, it's unfortunate.
Yes.
There's a lot of politicians that you guys look up to now that need serious counseling. It's not okay what they had to experience. So if it must come from me, guys, please forgive Julius. He really deserves a little bit of peace in his life.
Forgiveness is important.
Angazi noma uNhlanhla kusukhohliwe na ukuthi uJulius unomndeni. Unonkosikazi, unezingane okufanele isithunzi sika baba wazo sihlezi sivikelekile siyaqonda ukuthi uyi-politician semehlweni abantu kodwa khona izinto ofuneka mazikhulunywa nawe uzibuke. Uyabona mina nje angeke ukhulume ngobaba wami kanje noma ngathiwa ushongo funa wazi ukuthi sesixabene. Funa wazi ukuthi nje asisazwene. Kodwa ngiyazibuza ukuthi ngempela ngabe lena kuseyi-freedom of speech, ngabe kuseyi-freedom of expression. Angakabuzi ukuthi lokho akushoyo kuyinto eyenzekayo noma iqiniso noma ngamanga. Ngibuka nje ukukhulunywa kwale ndaba ebi kangaka noma kuthiwa yenzeka-ke ukukhulunywa kwayezihlangalaleni kuyamsiza na? Umbuzo wami loyo. Uthi nama-politician amaningi adinga i-counselling kodwa ngabe yingxenye ye-counselling la yenzayo kuzobalekelela na? Uma benaleyo nkinga kuzobalekelela na? Asidlule akaqala ukukhuluma kanje ngokwedlule wakwakhuluma kanje.
Julius first. I'm telling you, true story. Until we then were so invested, double checked, triple checked, like, hey, there's a problem here. Here is PR revolution here. It's fancy glitter Twitter. It's not real gold. This thing doesn't, man, no problem. It's like a tire crash. Until we want gold here. We don't want glittering stars. We want real stars. And when you start asking questions, we get crucified on the cross. I'm not allowed to ask. I once asked some guys in the terms we use in townships. I asked comrades, Buffett, can I ask a very simple question? When Julius presents his grandmother as the parent, is his grandmother Mary and he's Jesus? He doesn't have a father or a mother, and we all fall for that. Don't we run a risk of maybe not having understanding who we're dealing with here? Because if I know your mother and father, I don't need to talk to you. I've got a real geographical location of your being, of existence. I understand that. One of the biggest boiling issues in the country is foreigners. And I have plenty information to back up what I'm saying. It's foreigners. And Julius is very emotional and sensitive around borders. If I had graves from my family on the other side of the border, I'd say open those borders because it's important. My graves are on that side. I don't know if you're understanding me.
I'm fully hearing what you're saying.
But I don't want to confuse people. I want them to drown and be intoxicated in their own
I'm not even going to simplify what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just taking it.
So I want people to believe what they want to believe because we are a nation that believes. That's why we're so religious. We're not spirituality is based on fact. Religion is based on faith. So people have faith, and faith yahlupa blind. So I want them to continue with their faith. Batla re gopola rona ba bang ha setse ba votetse as Zimbabwean as a South African president. Batla re gopola. At least na even
ngokwedlule wathi ingakho Julius ekhuluma indaba ukuthi Africa must be borderless ngoba uvikela amathuna kubo. Shuthi abazali bakhe bangempela abakuwo lamazwe koZimbabwe. Yane angazi noma yi-freedom of speech noma i-freedom of expression. Cela ukuze uphawula kwakho mhlawumbe yiyo le. Phela ngihlushwa ukuthi angifundile manje angazi. Cela ukuzwa nje ukuphawula kwakho. Engaqondi kahle ukuthi uzisho lezi zinto ngoba efuna ukuduma. Kodwa phela ubesedumile vele. Noma uzisho lezi zinto ngoba kunenhloso ethizanayo. Noma unempi abayibangayo yena noJulius bobabili thina abanye singayazi. Iyangixaka lento, ingixaka ngempela. Ingakho ngithi no, asike sixoxe le ndaba mhlawumbe wena khona ongasungitshele khona. Mhlawumbe wena khona ungazise khona. Engingakwazi ngalabo ababili. Uma yena sekhuluma nangeinsolo zokuthi ngenzeka uJulius akuyena wase South Africa ngokuzalwa ke abazali bakhe abangale. Uma evikela ama-foreign uvikela umndeni wakhe. Uthini kahle kahle Nhlanhla? Asidluleke singene kule ndaba le ye-NPA. Ngamaviki adlule bekuthiwe ngabe NPA captured na. President Ramaphosa wathi cha ayikho captured. Kodwa ngicela uzwe la.
So on the national lottery matters, 6 of the The number that are under investigation in the docket is 7, and 6 are under investigation. 1 is pending at court. That is basically our presentation, Chair. Thank you.
Sorry, I think in your, if I may, so I think in your introduction you said you'd also deal with challenges or something like that on investigations. Didn't you say that? You did. Or not, or factors affecting investigations or something along those lines. So that's the one thing I want to ask. The second is, can you go back to your table of cases? Just keep going and then go to education. I just want to be clear because it says Department of Basic Education, but you refer to NSFAS. Shouldn't that be Department of Higher Education? I want us to clear. It's Department of Higher Education.
That is true, Chair.
That would be the correct. Yeah. And then can you deal with? I think in your introduction you said something about factors affecting investigations or something. Or I hope I didn't mishear, but I thought there was a theme like that. That was that you promised us.
Yeah, on the. Yeah.
Sorry, there's another follow-up from Honourable Mente.
No, thank you very much, Chair. But also, I thought when we received this document, I thought the presenter will then unpack as they are presenting. For instance, if you look at the cases that are cases on hand, dockets at court, and those are under investigation or submitted for decision, it doesn't indicate at what point you receive the case, at what point you refer to court, and at what point you referred for a decision, and how long has it been under investigation. We may not be dealing with the nitty-gritties of what does the investigation entail, but how long have you been sitting with this, because that's actually the nature of what we want to address in this meeting. And your presentation is silent on the actual work we are looking for. You just complied with giving us the cases, but you're not telling us anything. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not hearing anything you are actually saying, because you are only telling us what the SIU referred to you and how you categorized it. But as far as everything else we need to know, there's nothing there. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks, Honourable Mente. So that's the reason for me prompting this question, because I do want to therefore know what are the issues affecting the investigation, because at the beginning I said it's the length of time that it takes, if you recall, and secondly, how long it takes to reach to complete investigations, remake a prosecutorial decision, and then the court process itself takes forever. So that's why I prompted you then to go back to factors affecting the investigations, because you had said you're going to deal with that, which I think is a correct thing to do.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, what the honourable member is indicating is true that it is not reflected in our presentation. But let me indicate, Chair, that the matters that we have, which have SIU referrals, there are matters that are dating back as far as the presenter from SIU indicated that we are talking about matters from 2020. But the cases of referrals that have been there prior to 2020, we have included them, Chair. And they date far back, some of the cases like maybe 2018, 2017. The cases, Chair, that we have, some of them, as much as today we are indicating that they have got SIU referrals, we do have matters that when we receive the SIU referral, they were already in our space under investigation. But when the referrals come, then not new matters that are opened. So that detail, Chair, unfortunately, as it is not appearing on our presentation, but it is true that there are matters that have been with us for some time. And as the Chair indicated from the beginning, that maybe when we talk about complex matters, we need to to indicate what do we mean by complex. Some of these cases, Chair, they refer to multiple transactions that have taken place over a period of time, and all those analyses, that is the investigation that needs to be done. And at times, Chair, some of these cases, they need skills that we do not necessarily have with them within the DPCI, where we have to outsource those kind of skills to make sure that we get to the bottom of the case for the NPA to have proper evidence for getting those matters to be enrolled. So the presentation, Chair, unfortunately didn't get to that deep information, but the issue which Chair raised, where there is an indication in our layout of the presentation that there are factors that also deal, that talks to the delays or the inhibiting factors within our space, though we may not necessarily like to deal with them deep on those, Chair, as if maybe we are putting an excuse. But the issues of the resources, Chair, always come and hit us hard when we get to the time that we take in finalizing our matters. I'm not sure, maybe my divisional commissioner would want to add something on that. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe just to bring two matters just for the Chair's, Honorable Chair's consideration. One that he spoke of when it comes to expertise that we do not have in-house will include us. We do have a very limited forensic accounting skills, but it's not sufficient for the volume, and some of them we not even convinced that the expertise would want to try on a high-profile case. Then we have to go and procure that. And our procurement is not the fastest when it comes to procuring the services. And the other information, the other problem that we sometimes face is when it is like, I'll make an example with a matter from the SNDF, where we found that the documents that we are looking for need to go through the process of declassification because it's a classified document. So these are kind of challenges that we sometimes have. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. So you were helpful enough to give us a memo. So can I try and help this answer by going to point number 7 on your memo? The members have it. And then let's go there. So let me, for ease of reference, I will read it because it's short, right? Factors that impact on investigation. So when I asked, I was looking at it, and I was hoping you'd go there yourself. The DPCI is currently operating at just 50.41% of its approved staffing structure, of 5,332 positions. I am assuming you are sitting at 2,160 something odd. So you are short of literally half of your people. So the shortfall is 49.6%. Our current operational capacity is impacting on the workload, right, which has necessitated prioritization of certain matters over others. While we strive to maintain high standards, the reality is that resource reallocation to address emerging priorities can compromise the quality and illustrate the challenges we face in delivering optimal results under these conditions. Bullet number 3, although recruitment efforts are ongoing, the DPCI's incremental gains in staffing are continually threatened by the daily risk of attrition due to various factors. So I don't want to say that goes to the heart of the matter, and I don't think you were helpful to yourselves and to us. I accept the issues that you raised. Bottom line is, if I were to read these 3 bullet points, the number of cases that you get, not just from the SIU, but basically financial crime type cases, arrive at a DPCI that really has to choose which cases are going to get investigated and which ones are we're going to look at later. And some of those cases that fall under we're going to look at later are some of the cases, therefore, that we end up asking about why it takes so long. So is that the correct characterization? Because it sounds like what the hospitals have to do, which is, they're all sick, but I'll pick the ones that are about to die. Okay, so is that what we're dealing with? We can have this discussion later, but I think what Honorable Mende wants to get to is this question, and which I raised in the beginning as well. Why does it take so long? What is the issue? We need to get to the heart of those issues. Okay, but we'll have opportunity for a discussion.
Sizweleke bebeka nabi inkinga zabo. Asazi noma zinkinga ekhona ngempela noma i-excuse. Kodwa ke uma kunje okusho ukuthi ama cases asawuthatha isikhathi asazoqhubeka lento ukuthi ama case areportwe manje athende kudala. Uma nje kuya ngokuthi lento abayichaza into eyiqiniso. So ngiyafisa ukuzuphawula kwakho ngalolu daba. Yazi engakho ngiye ngithi i-EFF it deserve more than just 9% ngenxa ye participation yayo ekhona. Aya participate namanye political parties. Ngiye ngifise ngelinye ilanga sengathi singake sibeke i-party politics eceleni. Singasiyeka ukuthi umuntu kuyiphi i-political party. Ke silalela kushoyo bese ku-attendwa lezi zinto for the sake yabantu base South Africa. Angazi ukuthi kungenzeka kanjani ama-political parties akhumbule ukuthi arepresent abantu laphaya okufuneka kwesinye isikhathi babeke ukuthi bona bakiphi political party kodwa babeka abantu base South Africa phambili ngoba iyona into efunekayo. Ngiyacela ukuze ukuphala kwakho ngalolu daba ngizwe ukuthi wena kuthini ukubona kwakho. Ngiyabonga kakhulu uyakhula lo mndeni ukhula ngamandla. Ngiyabonga ngiswela ukuthi ngingabonga kanjani. Ngiyabonga. Ngiyacela ungaka-subscribe asubscribe, share, like, ucomment, ungasupporta ngokujoin i-membership, ungasupporta ngosidonathela noma ngamalini ongaba nayo. Ikhona i-account kwi-comment ephiniwe. Ngale kwalokho mina nawe asidibane kwi-video elandelayo. Ngiyabonga.